one like a son of man. The vision that the prophet Daniel had that we discussed in the last devotional video about the four empires, each of them, they were set up and then they collapsed. All of these things happened a few generations after Daniel had the vision. And also there were other things that happened after this, like the fourth empire, that it would collapse, but it would happen later. And another thing is the Ancient of Days. And Jesus, he would judge the fourth empire. Would that happen at the end of time? No, it would happen before that. But Judgment Day would be later. And who is it that reigns forever? It is Jesus. The first three empires, they would continue in their lives, but they would not have continued dominion. As for the rest of the beasts, their dominion was taken away, but their lives were prolonged for a season and a time. That verse, it's talking about the first three. Now the fourth, it would be destroyed, yes, but its horns, they would continue until their control was gone forever. I looked then because of the sound of the great words that the horn was speaking, and as I looked the beast was killed, and its body destroyed, and given over to be burned with fire. Thus he said, As for the fourth beast, there shall be a fourth kingdom on earth, which shall be different from all the kingdoms, and it shall devour the whole earth, and trample it down, and break it to pieces. As for the 10 horns, out of this kingdom 10 kings shall arise, and another shall arise after them. He shall be different from the former ones, and shall put down 3 kings. He shall speak words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and shall think to change the times and the law, and they shall be given into his hand for a time, times, and half a time. But the court shall sit in judgment, and his dominion shall be taken away, to be consumed and destroyed to the end. And the kingdom and the dominion and the greatness of the kingdoms under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High. His kingdom shall be an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. Here is the end of the matter. As for me, Daniel, my thoughts greatly alarmed me, and my color changed, and kept the matter in my heart. Well, I want to tell you that Daniel chapter 7, you read it and it can be very difficult to understand. And that's because it's very symbolic. And sometimes it can seem kind of strange and kind of hard to understand. But let's focus on Jesus and on his dominion and his sovereignty. It's already been decided. It's been decided. It's very, very clear. And when did this happen? Well, Jesus himself, the Son of Man, came. And he took up control, dominion. He took up dominion at that time. His kingdom is eternal. And when did it begin? The date? It was in 70 AD. I saw in the night visions, and behold, with the clouds of heaven there came one like a son of man, and he came to the Ancient of Days and was presented before him, and to him was given dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all peoples, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom one that shall not be destroyed. The Son of Man? That's Jesus, and he's riding on a cloud in heaven. There's only one God, and he's the only one that uses a cloud as a chariot. He lays the beams of his chambers on the waters. He makes the clouds his chariot. He rides on the wings of the wind. That's the Son of Man. It's very clear that he is the Lord of all things. That's what Daniel saw. He saw him conquering the fourth empire, and that's Rome. That represents our enemies. Now let's apply this to our Christian life. Daniel's vision, he saw Jesus coming and being born. He was the Son of God, and he was also the Son of Man, and that means he was in human form. He died and he rose again and is seated at the right hand side of his Father. And Jesus, he is still at war against evil, and he has dominion over all things. Jesus died on the cross, rose again, and became king. That's him. And whatever that our enemies do, Jesus is fighting against them. And we, as his people, he is protecting us. Sometimes we don't see that. That's true, his protection. Sometimes we don't see that he is our protector. But when we get to heaven, wow, we will see what a great protector he is. Question: does Jesus really protect us all the time? Oh, yes. Jesus, it's finished. He has conquered his enemies and our enemies, Satan and demons and evil people all around the world. He has conquered them. Of course, there are still enemies out there. Yes, we see them and the evil things that they do. For example, persecution against Christians. Maybe some of you are wondering, I don't understand how Christ has defeated this when there's suffering and sin and, these awful things that are happening in the world. Well, I want to encourage you to watch another devotional video I have that's about this that'll help you to understand. The link will be below. Unfortunately, it doesn't have voiceover, and I apologize. Coram Deo.